If alcohol was created today for the very first time, what would be the reaction of the government?
Absolutely. So this is one of the other things that we've discovered in this big European project. So a German guy called Lackmeyer decided, ask that question. He asked that question. If we discovered alcohol today and we wanted to put it in as, say, a food additive, suppose you wanted to make a really nice tasting trifle at Christmas. We're going to put some alcohol, some sherry into the jelly, okay? Then you get it licensed, Dave's Jelly Sherry. Then you'd have to go through food safety testing. Now, if you put alcohol through food safety testing and you use its risk of cancer, because alcohol is involved in at least 6, maybe more cancers. If you did that, the maximum recommended amount per year is a glass of wine. If you take a different threshold, which is if you say, what's the threshold for not getting any liver problems, which you wouldn't be allowed to for a food additive, but as a sort of another kind of level of threshold for sensible drinking, then it's about half a glass of wine a day. But if you really were strict on the cancer, it would be almost nothing.
It would be never allowed to be anywhere near something you eat in food.
The recommendation would be you didn't. Right. Yeah, I mean they couldn't stop you, but because you could, but the recommendation would, you'd have to put on it, do not consume more than this in a year. So we have this very, what I would call blinkered or preferential view of alcohol, and that's not just because it's been around for a long time, but it is because we do enjoy it. Don't pretend we don't.
Yeah.
Most of us enjoy the relatively little alcohol we do drink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, human beings have always enjoyed perturbing their consciousness, right? It's something Absolutely. We probably always will.
But not just humans. With alcohol is interesting because it's one of the few drugs which we know animals like. Because, if pigs get into an orchard where the fruit's rotting, they roll around and get drunk. There's some great pictures. Elephants get drunk on the fruit of the
amarula fruit.
That's right, the amarula fruit. That's right. And you can see chimpanzees getting it. They're not seeking. I don't think. Well, maybe they are, but I don't think they're actively seeking different consciousness for insights as we might. I think they just enjoy the experience.
Right.
It relaxes you. It releases endorphins. It makes you feel calm and tranquil, and for a bit anyway.
For me, I think when I look back on it, I think I was using it to avoid dealing with pain and painful moments.
Yes.
And the problem with that is it just pushes it down the road. You have to deal with it at some point.
Indeed.
And so for me,
and it gets worse.
It does get worse.
Because when you wake up at 5 a.m. with your terrible hangover, and then you start to think of the stress of work.
Yeah.
And that's another really important point. Really important to emphasize this. If you drink in the morning to overcome your hangovers, stop. That's a really strong pointer that you've got a problem. That is a dangerous, you're on the slippery slope then.
Yeah. I remember when I was in the city, I used to have these horrible days where a lot of my clients would yell down over these boxes and with massive verbal abuse all day long for 10 hours. And I remember coming home at night sometimes thinking, I'm not gonna have a drink. This is my alcoholic self because tomorrow is going to be so much worse if I have drinks tonight that I just want the minimum worse. And so I did that a few times.
No, I think that actually is actually in my book I suggest if people say to you, why aren't you drinking? Quite a good riposte is to say, because I got a really busy day tomorrow. I've got a lot of stress tomorrow, so I don't want to aggravate it by not having a good night's sleep and having a bit of hangover.
Yeah.